Welcome. Welcome to our first ever Let's Talk Live event. I'm your host, Kelly Campbell, Director of Digital Content Marketing here at BDS, and I'm live from our BDS headquarters in California. I'm so excited to bring you all a wonderful show today. We're going to be talking all about break-fix jobs, and I hope you are just as excited as I am. With over 200 plus break-fix positions openings nationwide, we have immediate positions that need to be filled that offer an independent, flexible work environment, skills training, and really good personal connections in the retail community. So, a little bit before we dive into everything else, what are we covering today? Well, you're going to get to meet some of our key break-fix leaders and team members. They're going to talk a little bit about what does it really mean to be a break-fix specialist? What does this job look like at BDS? You're going to get a sneak peek of some of the world-class brands we get to work with and some of the retailers we get to go into on a day-to-day basis. And at the very end, we're going to have a live Q&A where we will have our recruiting team and our HR representatives available to answer some of your biggest questions about the job. So, quick reminder before we dive in, we'll have an opportunity at the very, very end to be entered to win a gift card. We have a few of them to give out today, so I hope you guys are all ready. So stick around and you'll get your chance at winning a really cool prize. So, at this point, I want to bring in our break-fix team and our leaders and introduce you to some of them. So first off, we have Tracy Neff, who is the SVP of Client Service for our break-fix team. And she is actually a recipient of the 2021 Silver Stevie Award for Woman of the Year. So come on board, Tracy. Love to have you on the show.
Hi, Kelly and everybody. Really excited to be here today.
It's great to have you. We also have Jennifer Fisher-Finnegan, VP of Client Service for break-fix, and she's been a longtime BDSer, so she has a lot to say about this job. Come on the show, Jen.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
It's exciting to have you here. We also have Mike Gonzalez, another longtime BDSer who started out as a field rep for BDS and worked his way up. He's now the Director of Client Service here at BDS. Let's bring him on board to talk a little bit more about that. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Kelly. Hey, everybody.
Welcome. We also have David Kazaroff, who's one of our break-fix trainers. He is so knowledgeable about this role. So let's bring David in to talk a little bit more about that too. Hey, David.
Hey, Kelly. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. And last but not least, we have Ryan Shing, who is one of our data analysts on the break-fix team, and he's going to talk a little bit about reporting and what that means for a role like this. So come on board, Ryan.
Hey, Kelly, it's good to see you and everybody else.
Welcome. Gosh, it is great to have this whole team here virtually and remotely. It's pretty amazing that we get to do this today in this age. So welcome, everybody. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about break-fix with you all. Very exciting. So, how excited are you to be here, Tracy? I'm going to start with you. You're the leader of the pack here. How exciting is this?
I'm very excited. I love to talk break-fix, so I'm so excited that everybody's joining us to have this discussion today.
So what is break-fix? I mean, it's not something you hear about very commonly. It's not a common term, but it is in our world, right? So maybe you can talk a little bit about what is it?
Sure. So we've been, if you think about it, we've been doing traditional merchandising for many, many years. And then in 2014, when we launched our break-fix team, we really saw that the retail floor was starting to evolve into more of an interactive destination for consumers. And we saw that our clients were designing and placing more interactive displays at retail. And we knew this was a great opportunity for us to build this team that was more tech focused and could support our clients at retail.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit different than maybe what most people would know as merchandising. I know, Jen, maybe you can chime in there. How does break-fix compare to merchandising?
Well, that's a great question, Kelly. We get that actually quite often. I think the biggest difference is, and as Tracy mentioned, the retail floor has definitely been evolving. As a Break Fix rep, you get to work with some of the most innovative brands and displays out there on the sales floor. You get to partner with some really cool brands, and you get to represent and make sure that they are being represented at the highest level. And I think the reps get to really enjoy working with these displays. They get to work with really cool and fun tools, and they get to see really what they've done at the end of their visit and be really proud of what they've accomplished. So I think it's a little different. You know, merchandising, it's a lot more placing stickers, making sure a POG is set correctly. This is dealing with a lot more technology and thinking outside the box, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, always problem solving, I'm sure, on the job, right? So I know I like to solve a lot of problems. So this would be, maybe I should move into that role.
Please do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Jen, maybe you can also tell us a little bit about maybe what some brands or who do your team members generally get to work for or work with on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not only do they get to work in some of the most recognizable retailers, you know, in the world, such as Target and Best Buy, but they also get to work with some really cool brands such as Xbox, Microsoft, GoPro, Skull Candy. I mean, the list goes on. And it's not just in consumer electronics. We also do work with DeLonghi and some other brands in housewares. So it's really cool, and it's something different every day. And you get to work with some of the most innovative, recognizable brands in the world.
That's awesome. And then Tracy, I know today is really about a certain group of roles that we have on your team at BDS. What kinds of roles are you looking to fill on this team? What's available for people to jump on now?
Sure. We have mostly we're looking to fill our field roles, and we have part-time work, and we have for field roles, we have full-time work also. Our part-time work are for people that want to maybe dip their toe in. They're not really familiar with the business. They want to start off and not really familiar with merchandising or break fix. We will, take anybody that has a passion for technology or a passion for working at retail. We will train you. You get paid while you're training. We have an amazing virtual tool that will take you through your training. And then we'll have someone work with you at retail level to train you also. We want to make sure that you're successful at retail. Our full-time jobs, you can work up to a full-time job, or if you have a little experience, you can come in as a full-time rep. And then we're creating additional career pathing up through our organization. So it's really exciting to come in and to work for us. And, maybe you left a career in 2020 for various reasons and you want to try something new. We're very, very passionate about bringing new people into this business and working closely with you to make sure that you're successful in this business.
Fantastic. Well, I want to switch to David here because I want to learn a little bit more about what a day in the life is like for a break fix rep and for a specialist here. So, David, when it comes to our part-time, break fix technician roles, what does their typical day kind of look like? Can you give us a sneak peek?
Sure, Kelly. I'd be glad to, and thanks for asking. So typically when you get up, you will have already mapped your entire week out as far as where you'll be going in order to do your break fix work. So you would go ahead and gather all of the parts, any tools that you may need for that given day, get them together and begin traveling from location to location to work on any particular displays that we've been tasked with diagnosing and checking up on or fixing, placing new parts. So that involves a lot of working with the store teams, working with the people who are at the store, and working on the displays themselves. So you'll move around, which is one of my favorite parts of the job, is that you can schedule something that works with your life too. You're not stuck to any kind of a rigid schedule. So you move around, you work on these displays, and there's always a new exciting challenge with this job, which is one of the things I absolutely love about it.
That's awesome. So, I mean, that's a pretty solid picture of what to expect, which is great. Thank you so much for walking us through that. So, if they are kind of checking into the store, maybe assessing displays, we have a support center, right? That can also help troubleshoot remotely. Is that right, David?
Absolutely. We have a support center. We have peer-to-peer resources as well where reps can chat with each other. Our support center has a number of reps who are always on call to help you with troubleshooting, ordering parts, diagnosing issues. I mean, the support structure is vast. So even if you don't have a specific background in break fix, even if you're not the most technically inclined person, we're there to help you, which I think is just fantastic. I mean, you don't have to be a specialist in order to take this job on. Personally, I love tech. I've always been working with circuitry, but even if that's not you, we're going to support you along the way.
That's amazing. I love that you can learn skills as you go. We're going to help you along the way. That's awesome. So, I mean, let's say someone applied for this role tomorrow. They get the job, they're onboarded. Then, this is where you probably come in as an expert. What kind of training, do they get? Like how's that process? It sounds really exciting.
It is, and I'm so glad you asked. We have both virtual and in-person resources. So not only will you get your virtual learning, but we're also going to send someone in the field to come out and train you, support you, answer any questions that you may have. So you have an actual person there alongside you, showing how to do the job, which is something you don't always get with jobs that may be somewhat similar to this, but something that I think BDS does an awesome job of supporting you with actual in-field training. So it's one of the things I absolutely love about this company.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know we definitely take pride in nurturing our people in their roles. So that's awesome to hear that that's what they can expect. I want to learn more about that virtual thing, by the way. So I might be calling you guys afterwards.
Please
So
do.
I want to move on to Ryan, because now that we've sort of talked about what the day in the life is like, there's also that component of reporting. Talk a little bit more about that. After they do all these activities in store, you're the data guy, you're seeing everything come in. What does maybe this reporting piece of the role look like for someone?
So we actually have a lot of technology that we built in-house to set people up for success. Basically, we just use the internet with a phone. We have them submit these completed checklists once they finish a store visit. And I go and take all of that data and make really useful insights for our clients.
That's awesome. And then is there, you mentioned a tool, and it sounds like it's pretty easy to access on a phone. It's just like a web browser, right? And they can enter it there through this platform.
Yes, so this platform we use is called Insight Center, and it is very easily accessible through all the popular phones. One really cool thing that I love about our team specifically is we design these checklists, or call forms as we call them, to be as easy to understand as possible. So even though we do work with really complex interactive displays, sometimes it isn't overwhelming, because like everyone else is saying, there's always a support system that you have available to you.
That's great. So can you give us maybe like a sneak peek at one of the questions that you might find that someone would have to answer when they're on the job there? Like what's a typical question?
Definitely. So I would think the hardest question is the display present? So no, I'm just kidding. It's not that hard. But
I would hope
sometimes
yes.
sometimes a store doesn't have stock, or some kind of complication happens and they just don't have the display available, and that's totally fine. But we need to notate that, because we can't fix a display that isn't there in store.
Nice. Well, awesome. I want to move on to Mike, because you have quite a story and quite a history at BDS. I want to talk a little bit more about, when someone starts here at BDS in any sort of role, especially in the field, you've had experience with that, right? So tell us a little bit more, Mike, about where you started and how you sort of, got to where you are today at BDS.
Yeah, not a problem. So I actually started with BDS back in 2005, and I was going to school. I was looking for something that was a bit flexible with my schedule at the time. And I came across BDS, and it just seemed to be a really great fit. And I think at the time I was doing some part-time ASR work and merchandising work in Best Buy, and some of you guys might not remember, but Circuit City, back there for a couple clients, doing some weekend work, some weekday work, but really just the flexibility of the hours was really what drew me into the company, followed by just the experiences, just learning more and more about the technologies. As you guys probably know, things change so often in the field that it was really kind of cool to see that, like, as one brand would come out with something new and innovative, then the other brands would have to react just to become, stay relevant within the industry. So I quickly grew to love it and started taking on more and more work. And while in the field, started doing some full-time work, then started doing some field recruiting and management. And then eventually Jen, who will never regret it, gave me the opportunity to move into a corporate position and working on some dedicated teams. So really had the opportunity to learn more and more and start taking on more responsibilities. So, like I said, was started in merchandising when I moved into the corporate and dedicated teams. One of the great things too is I would never describe my experience at BDS as being dull or slow. There's always something happening. It's very fast moving. I've had a lot of experiences where I've been able to travel out to some of our key brand partners headquarters and work out there for a month or two, and work at other companies for about a year until, of course, Jen and Tracy brought me back. But yeah, it's been great, and it's just you get out of it what you put in, and BDS has always been really good at identifying people that are hungry for more and giving them opportunities to grow within the company.
Absolutely. Wow. That is quite an illustrious career at BDS. And how many years has it been now? You said 2005, right?
Yeah. So I'm going on 16. So,
well, congratulations. I know we have a few other long-term BDSers here. I mean, David, you've been on the team for a while, right?
I've been on the team for about 4 years at this point, so definitely not near as close as Mike, but my experience has been really awesome so far, so I plan on staying for more.
And you also, I think, started out in the field. Do I have that correct as well? Kind of working your way up through the Break Fix team as well?
You're 100% correct. Similar to Mike, I was doing ASR jobs for a different company, and I actually met someone in the field who kind of convinced me that I should give BDS a chance. So I was doing, both jobs at one point, and I was drawn towards BDS. So I actually left the other job and started working full time. I had some opportunities come around, and that's one of the things I wanted to take a second to just mention is that there's a lot of growth potential. I feel like you guys really give some of the better workers, or the more motivated workers, I should say, real opportunities. So that's just something I wanted to express to everyone out there, is that we do look within, and I really value that. So I've moved through a couple of roles, and now I do content building for the company, which I'm very happy to do.
And some amazing content coming out of your team. I love seeing everything that you guys produce. It's amazing. So that's awesome. I do want to sort of kick it over to Tracy and Jen as well, and Ryan, to give you a chance to respond to that. I mean, what else do you love about this team, the Break Fix team? What might people enjoy about these roles and what we have to offer? Let's see. Jen, I'll start with you. You can start it.
I can start. I think that the thing that's kept me here, and I've been here almost 20 years, which is crazy. I started as a coordinator and worked my way up. So I think that it's different every day, whether you're in the field or a trainer, a field ops manager, a corporate employee. Every day is something different, and you never know what you're going to walk into, which could be good or maybe bad sometimes. But I think it's, I like that because you never know. It's not the same thing over and over again. And I think just some of the brands that we get to work with and some of the places we get to visit, as Mike mentioned, he's had the opportunity to go and travel. And I had the opportunity to go and work with a partner of ours in Japan, even in 2019, which was pretty awesome. So I would never have had that experience, even I think at any of our competitors. So I think it's just a great thing to have something different and all the experiences that we've had. It's awesome.
All right, Tracy, you tell us why you've been on this team, why you've led this team for so long. Everybody loves working for you, but why do you love working with this team?
Well, this is my 15th year with BDS. I'm very blessed to still be here. And I can tell you that probably of course, my favorite thing is the team, the people that are on the team that I work with. And you can tell that there's a lot of tenure here, right? So we're a family. Everybody treats each other with respect. We have a lot of fun out in the field when we're out there working. We have amazing clients and we build great partnerships and they support us. And we have an amazing leadership team at BDS and they let us create career pathing for everyone from a part-time rep to a specialist, and they open doors for people. I have a really quick shout out. I'm seeing a little chat here from Nathaniel. Hey, Nathaniel. It says, Nathaniel, I used to work at BDF for 4.5 years. I kind of miss it. Come on back, Nathaniel. Come on back.
Yeah, this is the opportunity.
So yes, it's great fun, and you know you have to have fun when you're working, right? It's great fun. It's a lot of work, but it's great fun.
Yeah, we do like to have a good time. That's for sure. So, well, that's great. And then Ryan, you're last. Why do you love working for this team? What can you say? What can you tell us?
So I've only been working here for 4 years, not as long as Mike, that old guy. But I think, I mean, to mirror what everyone else says, it really is just the collaboration that people have. Whenever I need help, I know there's multiple people who are there willing to help me. And I am always willing to help other people as well. And I've built a lot of really, really good relationships here that I know I'm not planning on leaving, but if that ever happens, those relationships are lifelong and they will last. They're really good people.
Yeah, you won't find a more loyal team than this Break Fix team. These leaders right here, I can attest to that. I see the work that you guys put out every single day, and this entire team from corporate to field, everybody who's involved is just amazing. So it's not only an organization at BDS that you would want to join, but this team specifically is the one you want to be part of for sure. So kudos to you all to making it what it is today and building something completely from scratch and making it so successful. So I just had to say that.
Thank you.
So on that note, I'm going to actually close us out here with our Break Fix experts, and we're going to move on to our sort of Q&A section and open it up. So thank you all for joining. Jen and Tracy, you're going to come back in a little bit to help answer some questions. But for everybody else, thank you so much for giving us some insight into the Break Fix team.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thanks. So at this point, before we go into our Q&A, I'm going to give everybody here a few minutes to tee up their questions. Please put them in the chat. If you have a question about the team, the role, put it in the chat. And thank you for keeping on for this long. We actually are going to roll into a fun prize giveaway. So for everybody who has joined us this long, this is your chance to win a prize. We have 20 gift cards to give away at $25 each. So nice lunch for yourself. The first 20 people to respond in the chat to the question I am about to give out to everybody will win a gift card. However, please note, corporate BDS employees that joined today won't be eligible to win. I'm sorry. But for everybody else, it's fair game. So with that, here is your question. What is something new that you learned about BDS's Break Fix team or job that you didn't know before that you learned today? So I'm going to give a few minutes to put your answers in. And make sure to plug them in the chat. And then I'm actually going to, in the meantime, bring on a couple of additional guests. We're going to bring back Tracy and Jen to help answer some quick questions. So make sure to get those in as well. And we'll have a live Q&A. So I'm actually going to bring on Kia, who is from our HR department, and Tim, who is from our recruiting team as well, to help answer some of these questions. So come on board, you guys.
Hello.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, Jen and Tracy, and welcome to the show, Tim and Kia.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice to have you all here. It looks like we have maybe a few questions or one question to start off with. How many stores are we assigned each week? Who would like to take that one?
I can take it.
Go ahead, Tracy. Go for it.
It depends on if you're a part-time rep, if you're a full-time rep, where you live, how much work you want. The job. One of the best things about the job is that it's very flexible, and you're also self-scheduling 98% of the time. So it could be anywhere from 5 stores if you live in Montana. You know, there's not a lot of stores there, or it could be as many as 30 or 40, 50 stores.
Nice. Let's see. Do we have any more questions coming our way? Keep them coming. I've actually got a few that we can answer in the meantime. What type of person would you say is successful in this role? Maybe Tim, you have some pretty good experience recruiting for this role, right?
Yeah, I've been at it for quite a few years. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you look for in a candidate. Like, what kind of stands out to you?
Well, the first thing I like to let people know is if they're not really sure if they have the technical ability to do this job, I like to make sure that they understand that trainability is just as important as technical ability. And sometimes I'll be talking to a person that I'm just having an initial conversation with, and I say, look, if you can hook up a Bluetooth speaker to your phone, or if you can troubleshoot a problem with your cable TV or your streaming device, and you can kind of logically go through the steps of how to get that thing back on before you miss your show, if you can figure those kind of things out, along with the training that our great training team provides, we can probably make you into a great break fix rep. So don't assume you can't do it. Now, there are some qualifications. I mean, this job has some physical aspects to it. And so we do, in our initial phone call with you, we talk about some of the things that you need to be able to do, a little bit of ladder climbing, a little bit of lifting, and that kind of a thing. And if people have more questions more in depth about what some of those qualifications are, we can certainly talk about it. But I just like people to understand that trainability and eagerness. And the cool thing about it is flexibility. This job is very flexible. So if you're someone that has childcare issues or you're in school, these jobs can work around that. You just need to have a little bit of availability between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday for break fix.
Nice. That gives us, that means I could probably join in potentially. I don't have to have any technical experience. Maybe a little bit.
Well, since you're able to put this call together and kind of be the quarterback of this whole thing, I think you qualify.
We do have a question actually from someone saying that their application had been submitted and they would love to join the team. Well, we'd love to have you. So, and you were referred to the live stream. Yay. Yeah. Thanks for joining. What do I need to move things along? What are some tips there that we can give this individual? Who wants to take that one?
Well, I think that
maybe
the
Tim.
first thing you want to do is apply for the job. And so I just realized the easiest way to do that is use your search engine, your favorite search engine, Google, whatever, put in BDS careers. I think you'll see the first result that pops up takes you right to the BDS careers page. And from there, it's searchable by zip code or city. And then you can look for for break fix jobs, you can look for retail merchandising specialist or break fix market specialist. Search those jobs, and that'll take you right to break fix. Eventually, we'll have an initial phone conversation, and that won't really be an interview. That's more of a, are we right for you, and are you right for us kind of a conversation, fact finding. And then if you decide, yeah, I think I would like to do this, we'll tell you what to do from there.
Nice. And I know we're coming up to the 30-minute, the half-hour mark, but we're going to stay on and keep answering some of these questions that you all have. So feel free to keep them coming. We're happy to answer as many as we can. So I'm actually going to throw another one out to the team here. Is this position more team-oriented, or is it more of a solo job as far as the field position goes? What would you say? Maybe Jen, do you want to take that one?
Sure, I can take it. I think it's a combination of both, to be honest, because you have a full support team behind you, either at the corporate office or in the field, such as like David earlier that was on the live stream. But you're also able to go into the stores, and complete work on your own and on your own timeline and your own schedule. There are certain situations where we have you meet up with a rep, not just for training, but there may be a 2-person job or a 3-person job. So it's really a combination of both, which I think is a great, it's great, and it gives you a lot of flexibility.
Awesome. And then this role, it sounds like we've gotten a few questions around the actual just details of the role, which is exciting. Is it W-2?
Yes.
Or yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. And then maybe Kia or Jen and Tracy, some people had some questions about benefits, and I know it depends on the type of role and things like that. So maybe one of you can elaborate on what people can expect there. Let's see. Tracy, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. Yes.
You can. I guess when we think about benefits, there's so many different things you can think about, right? So I don't know if they're referring to health and welfare benefits or time off, but for our full-timers, there are health and welfare benefits that are available after the waiting period, as well as time off that is earned as you work. So that is vacation time and sick time. For part-time individuals, depending on where you are, based on state or local regulations, part-time individuals can earn sick time as well.
Great. And then we have another great question. How many people are in a given territory? And is it easy to connect with someone if you run into trouble or need someone to run an idea by?
I can take that one.
Go for it.
It depends on the territory, right? So we have metro markets, we have outlying markets, and then we have remote markets, right? So it just depends on what particular market they're talking about or area. As far as support, as David mentioned earlier, we have this great support team that has a lot of agents. They're very, very talented. They can help you over the phone. We have a full field team. We have market development, market team leads. We have regional managers, national managers. There's a lot of support and people that you can work with, but you also have partners in your team. As Jen mentioned, you might be working as a 2-person team, a 3-person team, et cetera. If you have an issue and you need some help, all you have to do is reach out and we'll send somebody out to work with you.
Great. And then we're going to answer probably one more question we have time for, but our team is on standby. So we will probably be able to answer some questions via the chat afterwards and get back to everybody. But I thought this was kind of interesting. What CRM platform do you use for the team? I would think that's more like our Insight Center, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's our proprietary system that we have here at BDS, and it's called Insight Center. So the great thing about it is that we have a in-house support team that we have the ability to make changes on the fly. So our client service team is the one who uploads the call forms directly for the reps to be able to answer. And if there's any, say, challenges behind the scenes, we're able to tap into our IT support right away, which is great.
Great. Well, gosh, we're 5 minutes over. So excited that we were able to answer a few more questions there. And of course, if you still have questions that you want to know, feel free to keep putting those in the chat even after our stream is done. Our team will, be able to get back to you with some of those answers and direct you in the right way. And it's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you to this team right here for helping answer some of our questions.
No problem.
All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up. And thanks for joining our first ever Let's Talk Live. We'll see you next time.
See you,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. Come work
Bye.
for BDS.
Bye.